Hi everybody and welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be showing you some really simple flower nail art. We're starting off with gel polish, and the first one I'm going to show you is like a really nice vintage rose. I'm adding all the gels that I'm going to need onto my palette so that they're there when I need them. So we've got Tan Lines, which is a new lovely like dusky rose from the summer collection. Then we've got Slay the Day, which is a nice dusky pink. Calm and the Sutra, which is cream, just to break that rose up a little bit, and then Don't Be Sour and Lovely Baubles for the leaves. I'm going to be using the Naughty Nail Fairy dotting tools, and I just sort of make rough rose shapes. They don't have to be circles like roses are perfect round flowers, so I just make the rough shapes and then I'll pop that into cure. Once that's fully cured, I'm going to go back over them again with the pink, and then this will allow us to marble into that wet layer. So I'm just getting little dots of colour on like the pen end of my dotting tool and then swirling it into the wet darker pink. And then I'll go in with the cream and just break it up and lighten it up a little bit more. You can always add more of whichever colour you feel that it's lacking, which I think you'll see I do on one of the roses with Tan Lines. And then just keep swirling and adding until you're happy with your roses. Once you're happy with your roses, you can pop them in the lamp to cure. And then you can start on the leaves. I'm using the same dotting tool that I used for the roses. I'm doing a larger blob of Lovely Baubles, and then I'm just dragging Don't Be Sour through just to give those leaves a little bit of definition. And here's the finished look. This is what it looks like shiny, but I am going to add a matte top coat to mine. You can adapt this technique any way you want as well. You can put little dots in between, you can put them over stripes, you can make them really small and look really sort of ditzy and shabby chic. It's really, really versatile. So now we're on to my new favourite technique. It's like a string pull flower. I've seen a lot of it on Facebook with artists doing it, and obviously whatever artists can do, we can do on nails too. I thought it was going to be a lot messier and a lot harder than what it is, but it is so simple. I've left a couple of examples at the side where I sort of was trying it out and it went a bit wrong. I was using sort of a thicker string at first, and that didn't seem to pull as well, and then I used a thin string but I didn't wiggle it around enough. So I finally got the technique down. It's really, really, really easy to do, and I can't wait to do it on a client because I feel like it'll be easier when I do have two hands to do it. But I'll just sort of give you the gist of it. You can use any colour combination you want. You could use 2 colours, 8 colours, whatever you want. Just let your imagination run free. I think it's really, it's absolutely stunning. So this is 1 coat of angelic which I've cured. I'm going to add another layer into it while that string sort of sits and soaks in the gel polish. And then this just makes it easier to drag through and the colours sort of blend in a little bit more. Once it's done, bob it in the lamp to cure, top coat, and then it's done. So this is what you end up with. It's just amazing and it's so easy, and you all know how I love easy. Please, all my clients ask me for this. So now we're on to the glitter nails. We all love a bit of sparkle in our life, and it's really easy to make flowers out of glitter. So this one I'm going to do is Tingly Feelings, and it's got cute little love hearts. I'm doing it over a base of Your Mint. I just brush a nice wet layer of top coat on, and then I just add my glitter into there. You will see me go back at the end and just make sure before I cure that everything's sort of still in place, because it can squidge around a little bit. If you do use tingly feelings, there's smaller hexagons that you can add into the middle to sort of be the pollen, and then there's little bits which I wasn't overly bothered about taking off. I just dotted them around the nail to sort of make it look like sprinkles. So once you're happy with your flowers and where all your petals are placed and everything, you pop it in the lamp to cure. I always, no matter whether I'm doing fine glitter, chunky glitter, always top coat twice. If you feel like they're sticking out a little bit more than what you would like, you can use a layer of builder gel, but I found with this one, 2 coats of top coat was perfect. So for this nail, the glitter that I'm using is I'm a Thief, Here to Steal Your Heart. It's lots of different size circles, all gorgeous colours. The base that I'm using is Cheeky Vimto from our holographic gel polish range, and it's absolutely stunning. So it's the same technique again for this one, just add your dots into the uncured layer. As these are all different sizes, I did create sort of a small and a large flower. Again, just check everything's where you want it to be. You don't have to place them absolutely perfect the first time because they will more than likely shift a little bit. Just make sure that you do it over again just before you put it in the lamp. Now we're on to acrylic. This is probably my weakest point. I really do need to practice. These sort of videos are really bringing out what I am lacking. So this first one is just a simple rose. I've done it on in the buff. As you can see in the acrylic pot, it looks like me and Zoe have gone out and dug a bucket of sand up. But if you have a little patience and brush that glitter out, once it's sort of starting to turn matte, you will end up with this stunning base. So for the roses, I place my bead down and then I make a little crescent shape, and then once that starts to go matte, I'll then push it out. When you're doing any kind of 3D work with acrylic, you want small dry beads. You want to be able to have that definition still there after you've pushed it out. You don't want it to like smush into whatever you've done previously. Just keep playing around with it until you're happy. Like until that acrylic is set, you can boss it around and make it go wherever you want it to. So for the middle part of the rose, I place my bead and then I just let it settle in a little bit, and then I just start stabbing it in the middle. And then once that hole stays there, I'll sweep around and sort of cut into it a little bit, and then it creates like a little spiral, and that's the centre of your rose. Now you could add leaves to this if you wanted, you could encapsulate it, you could do it a bit bigger, you could do absolutely anything. You could do a trail of little roses coming down from it. So for this one, I decided to do daisies. Anything small and really delicate with acrylic is my nemesis. And as you'll see, these are gigantic, but if I try to do them any smaller, I always end up with just 4 petals. No matter what I do, I just cannot get 5 petals. So once I've placed my bead, I let it settle a little bit, and then I go in with the side of my brush and I kind of karate chop it in the centre, and then I'll press it out. This is just the way that I do it. There'll be other ways, there's probably better ways, and there's probably easier ways. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. I am determined to tackle daisies. So just repeat that process until I have 5, well, petals. As you'll see, the last petal on this flower was absolutely having my life, but you know. So once I've finished fighting with that last petal, it got me so mad. I take a fairly large bead of Sunny Disposition, which is our lovely yellow, place it in the centre, I'll let it settle for a little bit, and then I just kind of tap it down just so that it doesn't stick out as much from the nail. So then I just repeat the process over again for a second daisy. So now we're on to our last technique, which is the marble inks. I do need to have a bit more of a play around with these. I really don't give them enough credit. But these are just two simple techniques that you can use to get flowers using our marble inks. So this is a base of the Sutra. I've matte top coated it out of pure habit, but I'm going over it now with our no wipe top coat. And then I'm just going to add the inks straight into that, no curing, and then they will disperse throughout the top coat. I'm adding one colour and then I'm adding a darker colour in the middle of this one, and then I do the same again for the blue. You can cure your top coat in between flowers and then re-top coat again and do another flower in the wet top coat, just to stop them from dispersing too much, but because I was working fairly quickly I wasn't too worried. And then I just add a couple of stems with my magic wand using the fine detail brush and lights off. So this is another quick and simple technique. They're not traditional flowers, but I think they give a good flower effect. I did decide to add another little stem in, just to finish off the look. Once those stems were cured, I re-top coated, and then that was the nail complete. So for this technique I use a couple of colours on my palette and our gel wipe off solution. You can't really see them until I put the gel wipe off solution into it. The more gel wipe off you use, the more diluted your colour will be. If you feel like you've got too much on your brush, just give it a dab on a paper towel or a lint-free wipe. If you feel like you've got too much colour on there, just add a little bit more alcohol, but do be wary, because if you add too much it will just completely disperse and then your nice little petal will turn into a blob. So I'm cleaning my brush out in between colours, and then I'm just going to layer the petals on top of each other. I'll just let you watch through this one because there's not really much I can say. It's easier to watch than me to describe. If you do have any questions about any of the techniques that I've used in the video, feel free to pop them in the comments below and I will get back to you. So it's quite easy to add and take away with these inks. As you can see, that petal was a little bit too light, so I've just added a little bit more pink in there. This attachment for the magic wand is absolutely perfect to make little petal shapes. I don't know what its actual purpose is, but from now on it's my little petal brush. So as you can see with this one, I went in with a little bit too much wipe off and it got a bit big. It's fixable, but if I'd have gone in with any more it would have been quite difficult to sort of rein it back in. So after this I added a couple more petals in at the end, and now I'm just sweeping over really gently with no wipe. The ink is dry but I don't want to disturb it and smudge it down the nail. Once that's cured, I use lights off and the fine detail attachment for the magic wand just to add a little bit more detail into the flowers. I'll cure them both separately and then top coat. So once that's cured, that nail is finished, and that is the end of our flower nail art tutorials. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching. If you want to keep up with everything that's going on with the Naughty Nail Fairy, don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Facebook and Instagram. I'll leave a list of all the products used for each technique in the description below and a link to our website. If anybody uses any of these techniques, please feel free to post them on our Facebook group. I'd love to see your recreations and hopefully some better daisies than mine. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Bye!